Abandon all hope, ye who enter here. That's right, it's Jigsaw back for webcinema.ning.com doing my video review for the new game developed by Visceral Studios and EA, Dante's Inferno. Now, this is based off Dante Alighieri's work, The Inferno, or The Divine Comedy, and this is Visceral Games pretty much creating the 9 Circles of Hell into a video game and what that would be like. Now, if you don't know, the 9 circles are limbo, lust, gluttony, greed, anger, heresy, violence, fraud, and treachery. I'm sure everybody's committed at least one of those things, so we probably go there. So it's somewhat relatable. Now, people, first off, the game wears its inspirations on its shoulder. Like the God of War, clear action, combat, third person, look down from the camera. It really takes that, like God of War, and wears it on its shoulder and really like, oh, look at me, we're doing this, but we're still having fun. The main aspect of this game is pretty much beat up the demons of hell and save Beatrice, who is your wife, who has been dragged down by very perverted Lucifer. I don't know why Lucifer is being so, what's the word, porn star-esque in this game. He likes to feel up his spirits, apparently. Granted, he wants her to be her wife, but still, he doesn't know much about first dates. Now, going into the gameplay of this, it's very beat 'em up, it's not masher buttons like a lot of the Dynasty Warriors are. You actually have combos you can execute fairly easily. I mean, normally I had problems executing combos in games, but most of these are pretty easy to do once you got down. You have 2 powers, Holy and Unholy. Holy is you get your cross, which is your ranged attack, where you shoot it out and it fires a cross beam. You can jump up in the air, shoot the cross, and it'll blast down enemies, stun them. That's your ranged attack. Your Unholy is your sight, which basically is like your blades in God of War. Now, you can upgrade these basically as you play the game using your certain weapons. If you damage souls in little kill sequences, if you save them. And it's very interesting. The game has some replayable factor. You can go through trying to max out all your holy powers. I played it 4 times and I got all 1,000 achievement points. DLC for the game's coming out at a good rate, so that's really nice to see. But the story is, it's not exactly what the Divine Comedy was. Like, for those who have read it, he's not a crusader. He's pretty much a poet and a banker. So he's pretty much a wimp. But I understand why they changed him to a crusader. It makes him more badass. The story is told through beautifully illustrated cutscenes. Granted, some of the in-game cutscenes are a little bit and some of the cinematic ones are too far and few to make it interesting. The boss battles, they're hit and miss. You have some really great epic boss battles, like with King Minos and Cerberus. We also have some really weak boss battles, like with Cleopatra and Antony, which really don't mean anything. The voice acting is good. I really enjoyed it. I'm glad they did not use Mark Hamill, the Joker voice, like they did in the animated series, because that just seemed weird to hear the Joker voice coming out of a person screaming horrible things at other people. But still, it's great voice acting. I really enjoyed playing through it. The main aspect, the thing that really brings this game together, is the environment. The environment is amazingly gorgeous. It's got trippy aspects. Each level has its own feel. And it's really like, gluttony is more organic, greed is more machine-oriented, fraud is these like 10-circle gauntlet arenas. It's really cool how they do that. Granted, some of the gauntlet arenas are hard as hell, like keeping somebody up in the air for 8 seconds, keeping yourself up in the air for 8 seconds took me like 30 minutes to figure out that you had to keep throwing them down. But overall, I haven't really had a huge problem with the game. My problems though are, it is the poor man's God of War. I love the game, but it is that. I mean, once God of War 3 comes out, it's not going to be able to stand up to it. For those of you who, like, co-op is coming out, but it should have been released in co-op, it's short. The game is very short. Some of the level, it's maybe 6 to 8 hours at most on your first time playthrough. Playing it through with all the powers, you feel like a badass, but then after that, there's nowhere to go unless you're, like, looking for 1,000 achievements. The cutscenes I've already discussed aren't that great, but overall the main aspect for this game is just beat the hell out of demons and enjoy the environment and enjoy your surroundings. So I give Dante's Inferno a 3.5 out of 5.